Check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and share.
Welcome everyone to Kimberlyspeaking podcast, and today's special guest is Lady Harris. She is an acclaimed playwright, author, and filmmaker based in Charlotte, North Carolina. She is dedicated to using her creative talents to uplift and inspire. So, welcome, Lady Harris.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I'm pleased to be on your show today.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a published author. I've done multiple plays in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have produced my first movie that is streaming on Tubi and Amazon Prime. I love to cook. All kinds of
food you be cooking?
Listen, I like to cook like Parmesan stuffed salmon with asparagus, or like a roast, or like a turkey. And I like vegetables and broccoli and like poultry, but cooking is calming for me. It's very calming, like to just prepare. I think with anything that I do, as long as I'm creating something, it's calming. It's like a peace. So those are a couple of things about me.
Okay, that sounds good. So were you born and raised in Charlotte?
No, I'm actually from Buffalo, New York. I moved to Charlotte. Yes, Buffalo 716. I moved to Charlotte when I was about 22 years old, and I produced my first play May 2003, entitled Confrontation. That was the first thing I ever produced. I'm 22 years old. I'm in a new city. The art culture in Charlotte at that time was so vibrant, and it was so inspiring. So it was just a vibe. It was a whole vibe. And it made it easier to navigate with me not being from here, because there was an art community, and that made it feel like home. So my first play, I sold out all seats except for 5.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
That was amazing, but that was at a time where you were passing out flyers, and you were going out to all the different spots to get your audience, whatever, and making connections. It was a different time, but it was a vibe. It was cool. So that was my first play. And I released my first book when I was 19, which is Betrayal.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And, Charlotte became home after the first confrontation, and the energy of it, Charlotte was home. I've been here since.
So is that what brought you to Charlotte, like artistic? You wanted to like explore your artistic talents and things of that nature?
Yes, absolutely. I noticed that the community here was large, and it wasn't like, at home it's more scattered or whatever, but it wasn't as raw as it was here. And it was either here or Atlanta, and I really felt more comfortable and more at home in Charlotte to be able to grow. Like to go to somewhere like Atlanta, I would need to be able to already have everything and everything together. So Charlotte was Charlotte was perfect.
Okay. So when did you first realize that this is what you wanted to do, that you had the talent, the creative, inkling? What led to that?
I started writing when I was about 7 years old. I started with poetry.
Oh, wow.
I love poetry. Like when it was introduced in school, it was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is real cool. I really like this. So from there, like my poems would become longer and longer. So my poems would end up becoming like little short stories.
Yeah.
And then one of my short stories just took off into Betrayal. Wow. And it's it's crazy, because when I go back to the original version or original rough draft, that first 2 paragraphs is a poem. Yeah, I of course, with editing and everything, they're like, no. But going back to the original rough draft, I write all of my first rough drafts down in like journals. So going back to that is like it's a whole poem, and it reminds me of how it started. And it started with poetry. It graduated to short stories, then it graduated to novels. From there, stage plays, and from there, screenplays.
Okay. So what would you say is your main thing that you've been persistent in that has caused you to just continuously go after what you want to do and not give up despite the obstacles?
Because the obstacles are obstacling, okay?
Yeah, they do.
Oh my gosh. I will say that I'll always tell myself tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow you start fresh. Because you're gonna run into so many obstacles, and especially I crossed different aspects of creativity, from just writing and being by myself. Like I can write, it's just me. I'm in my own world, to creating with other people, and then other talent, and then graduating to dealing with a whole production team. The levels of it is like challenging, but I will say that even in the midst of the challenge is so much that you can learn. So I always try to remind myself, what am I learning here? I know that I want to explode right now. So what am I learning? Because obstacles will prove to you who you are.
Ooh, that's good, girl.
They will prove to you who you are, and it'll prove, are you serious? You really want this? You serious? Because I'm coming. And it's like, it's every obstacle is larger. It's like you get past one, it's another one. You get past one, it's another one. So you really have to be like ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to be ready, because it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. You're gonna hit brick walls. You're gonna want to lose it and explode. And it's like, it has your why, and that satisfaction of finishing it in spite of all of those obstacles. And then just clapping for yourself, like, yes, that over everything makes it worth it. The satisfaction, like, it didn't stop. It didn't stop. So that pushes you, because then you remind yourself of the other obstacles that you've gone through before. And it's like, this is tough, but it ain't like that was. So I'm sure I got this. So I think that's how I persevered through all of the challenges and obstacles and stress and anxiety. And every time you do something and it's creative, I mean, even just letting somebody read your script, even if it's just an actor, it's like Erykah Badu said, I'm sensitive about my stuff.
Exactly.
So, but to get the feedback just from a table read, to get the, I see where you're going, or, oh, let's try this, and to have the creative juices flowing, all of the prep work just for that table read feels good. And then when you get on set, it feels better, and it chops down all the anxiety and the stress, but it's doing it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And you can make all the excuses up in the world. Are you serious about it, or are you not?
Absolutely.
That's what it ultimately boils down to.
Absolutely. So what about early life? What are some challenges or societal challenges or personal struggles that you've endured, not even related to your gift and your talent, but just in, living daily life, growing up, your childhood?
I think a personal challenge for me, and it would seem crazy, but I'm a Leo, right? So we're very passionate. We're very aggressive. We're go-getters. It wasn't always like that. Like, in everybody else's eyes, they would see, oh, she's going to do this and she's going to do that and she's not going to stop. The fear of doing anything and having someone critique me while I'm critiquing myself. I think I've always been meant to direct and produce. I critique. So I'm probably critiquing myself more than the people that are looking at me. And I for lack of a better word, I had to become like a chameleon, because my ideas and what would come up in my head is totally different than what I was surrounded around. So there was a lot of me being closed in and being quiet. Like, you wouldn't know that. You would see this loud personality, but the personality, the weird quirkiness of me, the one that breaks stuff down for no reason at all. Like, everybody's looking like, so, you know, but it's just the way my brain works. And I tested it with a couple people, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
My gosh.
I get it. So, I think one of the biggest challenges is it's lonely. It's lonely, especially being in your head, especially creating, especially trying to find people that understand what you process. So I think one of the biggest challenges growing up, and even as an adult, was the loneliness of it, until you run into people that do stuff like you do, and then it's like, friend.
Absolutely.
So I think that was probably personally one of the biggest challenges, and then opening up and saying, I can be me. It's okay. So yeah, I think that was one of the biggest.
So you established a school. Tell us more.
I had I really love kids. I love kids. I love teenagers. They have some fire in them that it's like, if you just focus that fire, they show you amazing things. And I know as a child, I wanted that person. So I wanted to become that person, to be like, it's okay for you to be all you here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm just as weird as you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to understand you. And then, but at the same time, I'll be able to guide you. So I feel like with kids, as long as they have something creative, or they can create something or build something, or even be a part of something and feel like they're seen, they do amazing things. So I taught ballet. I had a hip hop teacher. I had a majorette teacher, and I had I had another ballet teacher as well for the older children. And we also had a theater program. So I wrote a children's book, like 2005. I wrote a children's book called Amina and the Princess Crown, and it's on Amazon. And I wrote a play for the little girls, for I think it was 5 to 8 year olds. I think it was the 5 to 8 year old group, and it was Amina loses her crown. So it was a lot of affirmations in the play. There were a lot of accountability in the play, and just kind of little real life situations just to pique the interest of the kids. So they did that play. We did it at Spirit Square. It was really, really cool. You could see, you know, like the big cover on the outside. It was beautiful. They had a ball. They were nervous. It was so much fun. But to have someone just run up to you and hug you and say, I didn't think I could do it. That right there was everything. So, absolutely. And it was for low income families. So the price was way cheaper than it would be for a regular dance school. But once COVID hit, there was nothing else I could do. I had to close it.
Oh, wow.
I miss them, but I still keep in touch with all of my little girls. They're still my baby.
That's awesome. Yeah, working with teenagers definitely will have that effect on you. I worked at a high school for several years, and they're just special. Like, I became very attached. So, needless to say, so I definitely understand that. When you see them just at that stage where they're so impressionable, you know, have so much, it's like a pivotal point in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when they really understand, okay, like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? Like, they kind of get a image, like a visual of, who they see themselves as. So it's like a crucial stage in their life.
It
And,
is.
you really want them to have, positive influences such as yourself, somebody that's going to bring out the good in them, show them that they can do anything they set their minds to, because it's hard. And that was just like thinking back to my time when I grew up. I don't know how these kids do it in the age of social media. It is crazy.
I'm just
Girl.
so glad we didn't have social media.
Right?
So
Right? It's just so different.
it would have been, we wouldn't have had as many experiences as we had.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we would have been in our phones, but we had a ball. We were outside.
Yeah, we
You know what
did.
I mean?
We
We were having
did.
fun.
Yeah.
We were getting in trouble.
Yeah.
We were doing the most.
Yeah.
And we got
Yeah.
memories from that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
On the phone. And it's like, I get it, but it's like, y'all miss out on a lot.
A lot of stuff. Like I'm telling you. Whew, we absolutely did have a whole lot of memories and
Yeah.
have half of the stuff they have today.
Right.
That's so crazy. I was actually thinking about that with another guest I had that's like into the digital, and it's just technology is just crazy, with the things you can do today. Which is good and bad. It has its pros and cons, but so okay. You're an author,
Yes.
several books you
Yes.
produce. So what do you see yourself doing going forward? What is something that you haven't done or haven't experienced that you would like to do or see yourself doing?
Well, I've done a movie and I have a couple of scripts after that one. But
Okay.
I really would like to shoot a series. I would like to, I'm actually challenging myself right now and I'm writing a series. And
Okay.
it's totally different because you have to stretch the story. So
yeah.
So it's like you have a standard novella, which is like less than 10,000 story. Then you have a novel, you got like 50,000. Okay, so the novel, you stretch it, but you're stretching it with a lot of description. So even though I have to describe this, I still have to have them doing it. And everything has to make sense, but you have to, the process of it is a little different than writing a script. Because like every single series, like every single episode has to have an ending.
Okay.
So you have to end and then start again and then end.
And then start again. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little different. That's my next challenge. That's on my list. Gonna write it and produce it. But ultimately, I want to have multiple productions underway at the same time.
Okay.
Because that's the way my brain works. It's multiple files and folders just flipping, and that I find comfort in chaos. That makes sense. I find comfort in okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then I find a satisfaction when all of those are checked off.
Okay. Yes. I absolutely understand what you're saying. I'm kind of like that myself.
Yeah. It's comfortable. And it's like if I'm sitting down for too long, I feel like it's gotta be something I could be doing right now.
Yeah. I have to stop myself sometimes because I'm like constantly doing like, nope, resting today. I'm not touching this computer. Like I be like, some days I have to make myself not do anything. And
okay, like, so what is your brain doing while you're trying to not do anything? What's your brain doing?
Thinking, spinning. So it's like you're still doing something, even though you're not manually doing something. You're kind of like mentally, writing notes and thinking about what you got to do. Where you
and you add it to your list for tomorrow. You're like, okay, so I'm gonna chill, but I'm gonna do this tomorrow. And okay, so I won't forget this. It's hard. It's really hard to relax sometimes.
It is.
I'm so glad someone understands.
Girl, I do. My husband tells me all the time, you are constantly like you just got. I don't know if you know what to do if you're not. Like I don't know if you could function like if you're not constantly doing several things. And I'm like, well, I'm just so used to, doing a lot of things. Especially like as a single parent, like that kind of put me in that mode. I gotta, take care of the house. I gotta work. I gotta do this. I gotta try to get more education so I can make more money. It's like I have all these things that I'm, reaching and trying to aspire to do. I
Right.
don't have time to sit down. Like I gotta be at it. You know what I'm saying? So that I feel like that being a single mom put me in hustle mode.
Hmm. Right. You didn't have a
So
choice. Yeah.
yeah.
You got
So
their
and I just
calendar,
think,
your calendar,
yeah,
your calendar, house calendar. Like you
yeah,
got everything. And you
absolutely.
don't have a choice. But you find a comfort in it, and it's kind of hard to sit
Yeah,
down. And
yeah.
when I do sit
It
down, it's
is.
over. I can try to watch something. I can try
Oh
to.
yeah.
I'll be
You
not.
know what I just said? It's over. Absolutely. Girl, listen, I know. I know. So what are some things that you do when you're not working? For fun? Like what do you enjoy? She's like, working? No.
I was about to say writing, but okay. So, um, I
Oh my gosh.
I enjoy spending time with my kids. I do enjoy that. I
Okay,
love
okay.
playing cards with them. They're very
Okay.
competitive, so it's just like
Okay. Fun.
two little me's just ready to battle, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I love having conversations and chilling with them. I love picking their brains and
Yeah.
letting them know it's okay to be weird. Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's okay to speak your mind, and it's okay to express
Yeah.
yourself. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, but be you always. Always be you.
Yeah.
And I think that's like really, really important in the top of my list
Mhm.
because they'll sprout out a lot faster than I did. You know.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
and that's the goal for them. So I love spending
Yeah.
time with them because they crack me up and the things that they
Yeah.
say.
Hilarious. I'm telling you, I love being around kids. Like they're fun, they're funny. Like it's
And
the
they're
truth.
truthful.
Oh yeah, they will tell you the truth. They will tell you the truth, honey. And it's
No
funny.
remorse or anything. And they're just
Yeah.
like,
None.
I mean, but
Yeah. Like
and it's like
they're like the elderly.
it's not even that you're right. You're right, but it's just the
Yeah,
delivery.
it's the way you say it. It's the delivery. Exactly.
Yeah, I need you to you might hurt somebody's feelings. Everybody's not mommy. Just calm it down.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very blunt. I would definitely say that.
Yeah. So
So
I
what
like
do
to
you
chill with them and I love to play
okay.
cards and stuff with them. Other
Okay.
than that, I really like to just, sit at the water. It's calming.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
girl,
like
the beach. I love it.
just listen to the waterfall and
Isn't it
just
so
zone out.
peaceful?
And you can hear
Girl.
nature. And I know it's weird. People play, oh, I probably like to do this. No, I really like to chill. I like my brain to be calm.
Yeah.
So I think that's more than anything. I really like to just sit at the water, chill, or read a book, or
Mm,
something to get my
yeah.
mind off of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you see yourself staying in Charlotte? Do you see yourself venturing out, maybe going like to another area, maybe Los Angeles? Just something to kind of like be more in the environment of, what you're doing with more opportunities.
I see myself being in a lot of different places.
Okay.
I see myself being in a lot of different places and just following the trajectory of my life,
Yeah.
like going with the flow.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the
Yeah.
way it's set up and the way it's been happening is the flow. So I
Yeah.
can't force it. I gotta let it flow. I just have to put in
Yeah.
my work and then let everything flow from there. But no, I don't see myself in Charlotte forever. I love it here, but I don't see myself here forever. I honestly feel like I'm just gonna be all over the place because
Yeah.
that's what I am.
Mm. So you don't have any other family that was already here? You just kind of like came out on your own? Oh, really?
No, I just said I'm going. Something said go.
Oh,
Something was like, go, you gotta
wow.
go. And I'm like, okay, I
Mm,
gotta go. And
I
I
know
went.
that's right.
And it was the scariest thing ever. But once,
Oh,
like I said, it's a flow.
mm,
The way that man is set up,
yes.
sure it had a flow. And it was terrifying and it was scary. And it was like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know I gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely. I did
And
listen.
he made sure the doors opened. And it was like
Yeah.
they opened faster for me than they ever did when I
Yeah.
when I listened. So
Mm. Ooh. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So it was nothing was gonna go right until I did. So it was like, yeah,
You gotta be obedient. I'm telling you, when you say move, you gotta move.
you gotta move. You gotta
You
move,
gotta
or else
move.
it's gonna be
And
horrible.
and then the thing about it is, it's scary, but you just know, like you just have that feeling, like it's what I gotta do. And to other people, it's like, oh yeah, you crazy. I ain't no way I'm gonna do that. But it don't have to make sense to them. It just has to make sense to you. And if you let the voice of others, the doubters, you're gonna miss your blessing. Because
Yes, you will. And it'll be going like that. You gotta wait for the
exactly,
next one to come around.
you gotta move when it's time to move. You like, listen, I tell people all the time, I'm a big person of that. Like, I try to make sure that I'm in tune with what I hear God telling me to do. And when He say move, I'm going. It might not make no sense and I might be scared, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You got me, regardless. So I'm finna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, it's
So
something seen that I can't see, but I
yeah.
can feel it. Let's go.
Yes. Faith. Absolutely.
Yes. And I
Absolutely.
think that's very important when it comes to you trying to chase something.
Oh, yes, it is.
You're gonna need that one. You're gonna need that
You're
one.
gonna. You are gonna.
Yes.
I mean, without it, because like you said, you're gonna have obstacles, you're gonna have difficulties. And if you faint, you're not gonna ever reach it. You have to overcome it. And like you said, it's basically a test saying, okay, how bad do you want this? You know what I'm saying? Like you say you want it. Let me see how bad you really want
And that's like
it.
a
Girl,
punch
I'm
to the
telling you.
gut. It's like,
I'm
oh,
telling you. I know.
oh,
I'm telling you. Listen, I'm telling you. Whew,
whew.
girl,
It's not for the
it
weak.
is. It's not. It's not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. The weak will fold quickly and be like, nah.
Yep.
They will.
Yeah.
So it's like you definitely have to have it. You have to have that fight in you. It's a
You do.
constant battle. And then you have
You
those
do.
little moments where it's like, yay. You got to clap for yourself
Yeah.
for those little moments. You have to
Mm.
hold on to those little wins. You got
Yeah.
to build them up in your
Yeah.
hands. You
You
got to pump
do.
yourself up and be your own
Yeah.
cheerleader. You got to push yourself when you don't want to get up and do anything. You got to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's,
You do.
and it's very, it's, it's satisfying after you do it, after you push yourself,
Mm.
after you like, I just want to
Yep.
not do anything. And it's
Yep.
like, yeah, but if you don't do anything, nothing will happen.
Yep. Exactly. That part. That part.
Girl.
And like you said, like they build you, they make you strong. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. Like it's processing you and building you at the same time for the person that you need to be when you reach it. Because had you not gone through those obstacles, you can't handle that level. It's like a video. Oh, that just came to me. It's just like a video game. Every level
Level
you're
up.
graduating, it gets harder and harder.
Level up.
Come on.
You got to level up.
That part. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that first level, it's easy. Oh, okay, I'm gonna buy it, whatever, whatever. And then them levels start coming. You're like, okay, wait a minute, I ain't used to this. I don't know what to do. But you gotta go. That's
You got to
true,
go.
girl. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is so crazy. Oh, I love it. So what do you think um you would say is your biggest accomplishment career wise?
My biggest accomplishment?
Yeah, like just that one that you just like, bam, this is it. Like no matter what, all the other ones are great, but this one right here, this is it.
I would say that I appreciate everything I accomplished,
Yep.
but turning on the TV
Mm,
and seeing my movie
awesome. I
was
can't
a
even.
different type of, and knowing it's up there and then seeing people, I've had so many people that I don't even know share and so
Mm.
much love. And I appreciate all of y'all.
Oh.
I appreciate all of y'all so much because the love that I had, that I have right now going on with the promotion
Yeah.
and everything
Mm-hmm.
is It's absolutely amazing. I've done a lot of events. I've done a lot of plays. And all of those were, at that moment, that was everything for me. But turning the TV on, knowing that I'm on Tubi and I'm on Amazon, knowing I wrote that, knowing I produced it, knowing I put it together and I had the right team behind me to help me create that vision. And we had a ball doing it. Like, it wasn't like, even though it was work and it was hours, but it was fun, you know. And it's like the cast I had was perfect because everybody got along with each other. Everybody was friendly. They're making jokes. They're helping each other out with their lines. It was like it was just like all love. And that right there, so far, that one. Yeah, that felt good.
Okay. That's great. That's awesome. I can't even begin to imagine what that feels like. Especially like looking back over, what you did to get to that point. Like, it's just probably so amazing.
I learned a lot about what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I learned how production flows. Like, I love information. I love learning. I love knowledge. I love to know, especially when I'm doing something and it's exciting to learn it. Like, so that's how it does that, and that's what nice. Like, it felt good, to have people that were willing to let you know what's going on or how this should work or what this is or what that means, because there's a lot of different terms and it's a lot of different, terminology that I wasn't familiar with that I am now. So it's like, it was a learning experience and I love to learn, but then it was a whole process of seeing my vision in action.
Exactly.
It was just like, I was like all smiles on set, like, unless something was going wrong and I had to move around. Otherwise, it's just like,
oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out, girl. Yeah, so we're gonna show them a clip at the end. You're gonna send me some footage that you can, share, and we're gonna post it with it. And I think that is awesome. Absolutely. I was gonna ask you something. What was it? Oh, you said something that made me think. You said that you had your team. You mentioned your team. How important is the team?
When you have, and I'm sure you can definitely relate to what I'm about to say. When your brain is on go and you see the full scope, and you have to interpret this full scope in pieces to different parts of the team, because every part of the team needs a piece of that scope. And then everybody needs to know the whole scope. So if you don't have the right people that understand how your brain works and understands, like, I would say my director, Rock, he's actually been in my plays and also another film that I produced. I've been working with him for probably 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I can look at him and I don't have to say a word. He'll know exactly what's going on in my head.
Wow.
And then that's him, and he's used to being in the capacity of an actor. So this was the first time I needed him as a director, because it was just a production and a play's different. And it's a lot of cut everything. A play is real time. So everything is prepared before. So no, I don't really need, the help there, but here is constant take over, take reset, do it over. So but then at the same time, other pieces need to be moving while that's happening. So I'm like, yo, I need you. He's like, I got you. It made it easier. Because he could even we can be in action and I could be like, he'll be like, cut, switch this up. It'll be exactly what I'm thinking.
Exactly what,
So I appreciate him so much for that. He's amazing.
Wow.
And he's an amazing actor. And Najiri, who was my screen supervisor, script supervisor, she's been with me since she was 17.
Okay.
So she knows me like the back of her hand. And she's like the little mama, but at the same time, she's very, very anal and meticulous about everything. So when you're just a little like behind the scenes, when you're in action and you have to switch angles, everything has to look exactly the same because the shot is going to go back and forth. Yeah. So it's going to go from this person to that face, or it might come from the side, or it might be wide. So everything has to look the same. Now, if somebody moved around or did anything in that scene, it needs to be reset for the next angle, right?
Okay.
She would be like, no, that's a little bit over. Like she sees everything.
Wow.
She catches things I don't see. So I think when you're building your team, you have to build the correct type of people around you. Like you have to get people that have a strong, they have their strong side might be your weak.
Okay. So like compliment.
They have to compliment you. So she's going to see what I did not see. She's going to point it out. She's going to rip the script apart. She's going to make sure everything is there. She's got tabs and sticky notes everywhere. Like it is not a game. And if you look at her and say, Jerry, I got you. She knows exactly where it's at. She knows exactly what to do. If something doesn't look right in the shot, she's everywhere like a little bunny. She's all over the place. She is, and she's amazing. And I love and appreciate her. So it's like when you're building your team, you have to have people that compliment you, or you're gonna bump heads. I've never bumped heads with them. They know. Like but I did have them when they were younger. So it's like I grew with them. So we understand.
Yeah, that's good too.
Like I'm probably not gonna eat because my brain is all over the place. Jerry will just walk up and hand me a banana.
Bring you some,
You know what I mean? And then I'll be making she eats, and did y'all sleep last night? And you know, it's I think it's very important that the people that's in your ship are not digging holes in your ship. They're adding to the ship. So we build it up instead of trying to sink it. So and you got to be careful. You really need to. One thing I learned, you should definitely interview or make sure you build a rapport with your staff before you get them on set. So everybody understands each other, but at the same time, everybody has the same goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was watching a masterclass. Spike Lee said that. He said, you should interview your staff, your directors, everybody, because this is about to be a part of your family for hours. And like 12, 14, 18 hours. So you need to make sure that y'all are in sync so that when it does get tough and you are exhausted, you know how to deal with each other. I think that's extremely important, especially because if your team is like on point like that, it's gonna be so much fun.
And if it ain't on point, what are you gonna accomplish?
Exactly.
It's another obstacle.
It's just so try to remove as many obstacles as you can up front. Because they're gonna come, but try to knock some out before.
I'm telling you, man, it is so, and that is even in life. The people that you have around you are so important.
Yes, they are, because it's going to decide where you go and where you don't.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's hard to realize, especially for the people that were around you. You love them.
Yeah, so, you do.
But it's like you got to choose. You have to choose yourself.
It's not about that. Yeah.
And it's not no hate, no shade or anything. You really have to choose yourself, because you're the only one that wants it as bad as you do. Yeah. You know, people can support you and show you love and everything, but it's like you want it as bad as you do. Nobody wants it as bad as you do.
Yeah.
So you have to create a production, to create I mean, like to write a book, anything, you got to isolate. You can't really be around too many people because you have to have your thoughts clear, and then you don't let anything flooding into your story. So any negativity that it might not even be meant to be negative, any kind of conversation that's going to kind of bring you down. Now you can't write, you can't think straight because you're feeling sorry, or you feel bad, and it's just like it clouds your focus. So it's like, but when you have friends that understand that, like my people would always be like, "Oh, you writing? Not gonna bother you," you know. And it should be that way. It shouldn't be like, "Oh, you being funny," because nobody's funny. So when your people know you, they just know.
They just know you. Yeah.
They're like, okay, I know. Never mind. You must be writing, and I get those. You must be writing. You must be, because phone is off. You know what I mean? Like, because you have to eliminate those distractions just so you can chase it. You have to chase it. It's not a race. It's a marathon. It's constant. It's not stopping.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. What is your biggest source of inspiration? Where do you get your inspiration from? Like, what drives it?
What drives my inspiration? The end result.
Like, do you like observe things happening around you and it'll like put you into creative mode, or are you writing from a lot of your personal, like where do you pull most of your influence from?
When I was younger, I would write more personal, because that's familiar.
Absolutely.
And it was before I read a lot of different books and read a lot of different scripts and kind of seeing how things are structured.
Okay.
Like fiction is fake.
Yeah.
You can do anything in fiction.
Anything? Yeah, absolutely.
So once that clicked, it's like, well, I can make some stuff up.
Yeah.
That was like a challenge. So now I literally look for things. Like if I'm out, I want to observe where I'm at and what's going on around there. But most of my inspiration is it's spur. It just happens.
Oh, okay.
So like when the first book that I wrote that wasn't from a personal experience or something that I was familiar with was my book Dolls. Now that's when I crossed genres. I went from writing urban lit to lit to children's book, and then to thriller, horror, suspense. So Dolls is like based in the early 1800s in Louisiana. Now I was sitting in my friend's shop in Brooklyn, Sophisticated Locks, and her mother creates these dolls. And these dolls have so much personality. I'm going to send you the covers so you can see, but they have so much personality. It felt as if they were speaking to me while I was sitting there. I mean, they got their legs crossed. They're just posed certain ways to where it's like, like it was just like that. Like I got a story that I need to tell. And that came nowhere. Like it was just sitting there, zoned out, looking at the dolls. And it's like they were talking to each other. They had a whole vibe. It's like I can do something with that. So that's inspiration comes in spurts. It could be a conversation. I'm like, oh shoot, I can use that.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of everything. Life experiences, art, everything can, stir up my imagination, and then it'll just go from there.
Okay. Yeah. Do you find that you had like a wild imagination as a child? You think that was like the beginning of like just, sometimes as kids, you just out there, like you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like your life is fiction pretty much. Like people say, oh, I got a best friend, got an imaginary friend, I got this. So like you're in imagination mode. You're playing with dolls. You're, you know what I'm saying, doing all those things.
I would like to do like improv type stuff when I was a kid with my friends.
Oh,
And I'm sure I got on their
okay.
nerves. I'm sure I did. And I would like to create dances, like, let's make up a dance to this. So when we go to the
Okay.
dance, we can do this.
Yeah.
And I remember my god sister said, you always want to make up a damn dance. Why we can't just watch TV?
Why we can't just watch TV? Oh my gosh, that is
Because
hilarious.
I didn't like to sit still.
Yeah.
So it was like, yo, let's do something. So I would create little scenarios. We would play them out. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was always trying to make people do stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was fun and I didn't like to be bored. I really didn't like to be bored. So
funny.
yeah, I would make people do stuff. But I think the creative process grew with like reading a lot. I like to read.
Mm-hmm.
And just studying plays or studying, why did they do that or how did they do that?
Yeah.
Just it's very inspiring to see, the lengths people can take with a little and the lengths people could take with a lot. So I think the more I got into it, the more easier it is to just create, to build. Something so simple as you see a street light and the way the street light is glaring down on the ground and it's raining and you see the raindrops jumping.
Wow.
And you know what I mean? Like now somebody just ran by, like it'll just come like that. Like somebody just ran by, are they being chased? And then the questions start to pop up. So it's like, I don't know, it's a weird process.
No, it sounds like, just, you're stirring your imagination just by, what you're observing. So it's like just kind of building like a domino effect on, one thing on top of another. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it kind of sounds like. Okay. So as a community leader, how do you feel your art and what you create inspire others?
I hope to inspire others. I hope to inspire others by them seeing that it can be done. And them seeing that you can be original with what you're doing and it be accepted because somebody needs to hear that story. Yeah. So I think I used to try to like force inspiration on people or push it on them and try to get them to see themselves. But the ones that I'm supposed to affect see me without me even knowing they're seeing me. And I realized that it's like, okay, I just have to keep going. And then that mission will be accomplished because they'll see it. So I don't have to try to control, I'm a Leo. I don't have to try to control that part. Just let that part flow. And I get so many thank you for, just doing this or doing that. And how did you do that? And it's like, because I like to do this. And it's just like, at that point, then you can shoot some words of wisdom and some inspiration. And you can go from there. And you touch the people he wanted you to touch without you having to physically touch them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how I hope to inspire people, by not stopping. By that also pushes me as well, because if I stop, it's like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why you run it up like that?
Absolutely.
Why did you do that? You wasted a lot of people's time. And I feel like people really need to tap into what their purpose is. They need to tap into what they're here for, because somebody needs you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not necessarily monetarily, physically. They need to see it because they're doing. And it's like so many people doubt. And it's like the more you push to do it, you got to be, I don't care if it's a mechanic. I don't care if it's a basketball, whatever it is, you have to. You have to do it if it's in your heart. Do it. And if you don't do it, you're not letting just yourself down. You're letting down the people that were supposed to see you do it.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's the way I want to inspire people, to show them. And when I show them, then they can do it. But then again, of course, I have to deal with kids in some type of way. Okay. I have to inspire the children. I have to push them. they're a little different than the adults.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're a little different than
Absolutely.
the adults. So yes, I dream to inspire people from them watching me break down these barriers, watching me get over the obstacles, watching pain, tears, sweat, all of that, and still seeing an end result to it. And being completely raw about it, not, sugarcoating. Because
Exactly.
lying, and they're gonna be like, you said, no, I told you.
She said, no, I told you.
This is not a game.
My God. It's not.
So yeah, that's how I hope to inspire them. Yeah.
That's good. So I really feel like in our purpose, it's not only for us. There are certain people that we are to touch, we are to inspire. And like you said, if you don't do it, you're letting down those people that need what you're supposed to deposit into them down. Like, that's your assignment. You're not even fulfilling it. So you have an obligation for yourself as well as the other people that you're supposed to inspire and touch. And that's what we have to do, because it's not only about us.
Exactly.
We don't go through what we go through just for us. And when you realize that, that's it.
Starts to make more sense.
It starts to make more sense. Absolutely. So I got a question.
Okay.
Tell me about this Lady Harris. What's up with the name? I've been wondering. I need to know.
I will say that a lot of people from home will call me Lady, and then use my first name. And I adapted it probably when I started to do plays, because I didn't really I don't like people mispronouncing my name.
Oh yeah.
And when they wouldn't be able to pronounce my name, they'd say lady, lady, lady.
Wow. Are you serious?
Lady. Because I mean, the way I would carry myself, I like slacks. I like to dress. I like collar shirts.
Yeah.
I like a certain style, especially when I'm doing an event or anything
in that
like
mode.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So they're like, you're like a lady. I like suits, So they're like, it's like a lady. People would call me Lady. So I'm like, yeah, Lady, just Lady Harris. Let's just leave it there. Yeah. It makes it real simple for everybody.
Okay. Well, I like it. Okay, great. Okay, so I think we really touched on some awesome points today. I really do like I feel like them listening to your journey will help them to seek out their passions and to pursue things that they want to pursue. And like you said, being transparent is the best way, because you don't want to lead them astray and make them think, oh, it's all rainbows and Skittles. No, ma'am, it's hard. It's going to get hard, but you got to keep going. You got to persevere, and you got to, press toward the mark. You know what I'm saying? So them seeing that, I had obstacles. I had setbacks. It was hard. Yes, I wanted to quit. I kept going. And if I can do it, then you can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, well, it has been absolutely wonderful. Girlie, I love it. I'm so glad that you were able to be a part of the episode today, because I think that your life and what you're doing is awesome. I just want to encourage you to keep going, keep pushing, don't stop. Sky's the limit. And I'm just excited to see you doing bigger and better things, honey.
Yes, and I receive all of that. I receive all of that.
So when you add the NAACP and all that, I'm gonna need you, girl. I'm gonna need you to get a girl interview, exclusive interview. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely hit me up, and I will circle back.
Absolutely, honey.
I appreciate you so much for having me, and it was wonderful speaking with you and chopping it up. This was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, me too. So tell the people how they can get in contact with you, where you're at on social media.
You can reach me. I'm on Facebook. It's LAYDEE Harris, and that's my personal page. Business page is JCI Legacy. And on TikTok is JCI Legacy, and on Instagram is Booked by Lady, and then is JCI Legacy.
Okay, great. And we'll have all that with the episode as well, so people can easily find you. Staying in contact with you and to support you in whatever you're doing. And if you ever have anything that's going on, you want me to put it out there, just reach out to me, let me know, and we'll put it out there for the people so that we can, just let them know what you have going on.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. Well, we've had another awesome episode as usual. You already know what to do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell on YouTube. Kimberlyspeaking 8062. Until we speak again, be blessed.
Be blessed.
Ultimately, it is what it is.
I don't know that woman. She's thick though. I might want to get to know her.